Day 3 of being unemployed, and yeah, it's exhausting. Do you know what? Actually, applying for jobs is more exhausting than just doing work. I think that's probably because I'm actually putting in even more time than a traditional sort of like, what I was doing before. But I'm basically, crack of dawn, like 6:30, I'm up and I'm straight on the laptop and I'm trying to reach out. I'm reaching out on LinkedIn. I'm reaching out through job applications. I'm looking at local anything everywhere. I am currently based in Canada, so I'm actually looking at like BC, Alberta, Toronto, the US if they're supporting it. And yeah, so the pool that I'm applying for is pretty broad. So I'm really hopeful that something is going to come back positive. But so I finished up yesterday applying for 50 jobs. Right, my goal was 50 jobs to apply for. I've applied for 50, got my spreadsheet, got everything written down. Great. It's now Friday, and I have a call, which is initial screening. Sorry, an initial screening with a company for an SRE role. So it's interesting to see how the market has changed because obviously going through a plethora of jobs, I saw DevOps roles, platform roles, cloud engineering roles, and SRE roles. Pretty much all of them had a very similar description. They were, it was a cloud, a automation tool, a pipeline tool, a repository, obviously a version control system, and Kubernetes. It didn't seem to matter. In fact, there was a few front end and back end jobs which had Kubernetes listed, which I think, familiarization is very good for these roles. But yeah, I mean, I see Kubernetes as almost like a whole other language, let alone pairing. It's like you're saying, it's a full stack. You want full front end coding, back end coding, and Kubernetes management and creation through YAML, and then other. Anyway, I digress. That's a completely different topic. We'll talk about that another time. In this one, we're purely talking about how we're progressing for day 3. So day 3, I've got my first call this afternoon. That is with a company for an SRE role. I also have 2 responses via email to book another initial screenings. So far, out of the 50, I've hit 3 responses. Now, I would expect in a market like today, especially in a culture, so don't forget in Canada, they don't have some of the same work, what's the word I'm looking for? Work protection, employment protection that you might get over in the UK. So England works very different. It's very, well protected. And, I've been in jobs over in the UK where I had like a 3-month notice period. And it was like, well, yeah, I'm leaving, but you've still got me for another 3 months. So that is not a thing here. So I'm hopeful that the turnaround on job applications here is quite fast because people can leave very quickly. You can leave pretty much whenever you want. You can just quit and go, or you can be fired and you go, however it works. So far, so good. We've got 3. My goal this afternoon is I'm going to actually try and apply for a couple more roles, but I'll also be prepping myself for the interview this afternoon for the initial screening. I'll be going through the job description. I'll be going through what tools are they looking for? Do I know these tools? Can I talk about them? Can I give examples of them when I've worked with it? Can I give an example of when I worked with Argo CD? Can I give an example of working with Terraform? And the classic that always comes up, it's like confrontation. Confrontation is always like maybe not confrontation, disagreement, in the workplace. So you have an opinion, I have an opinion. How do we go talking about who's got the right answer and what's the best for the company? That seems to be quite a hot topic nowadays because communication the soft skill for communication has changed in the sense of apparently a lot of people don't have it, or it's rather I don't know how to explain it. I mean, I've read many things, and I've seen many blogs, and I've seen many TikToks talking about generationally, people don't have to talk as much in person, so they don't. Everything's done by text, everything's done by WhatsApp. It doesn't. Everything's done by emoji. Nobody actually has to talk to anyone. I was still at the time. I am still at the time when I grew up, and texting wasn't an option, and you had to talk to people, and you had to engage with them. Otherwise, you weren't gonna do anything. You weren't gonna talk to anyone. You were just gonna be very, very lonely. So it's quite an important soft skill that's desirable at the moment from talking to recruiters anyway. But yeah, so watch this space. I'll keep you posted. Let me know in the comments if you've got any questions, or if you are going through a similar journey that you have, you've had some success, you've got some success stories. I'd love to hear them. Or if there's, you just want to hash it out and see if there's something you're missing. I'm more than happy to go through it. But yeah, have a good weekend and take care.